Well, it's getting to be the end of the year and the holidays are upon us. I'm going to be taking this next week off between Christmas and New Year's, and I've got a few shop projects I want to take on. But looking forward to this week of rest and week of spending time with friends and family. So I've been thinking long and hard about all the years that I've been in business. Last week was my birthday. I celebrate 69 years, and I've been in business for 50 years. I started my business in 1973, so coming up 2023 will be 50 years of trimming trees and working brush and feeding that damn chipper. Anyway, I want to wish you guys all happy holidays. Be safe out there. And if you leave a comment, why don't you sign off with your first name somewhere in the comment? I'm trying to get to know you guys a little bit better. Thanks a lot. Well, it's that time of year again. I'm making some Christmas presents, and I thought I'd share with you some of the things that I like to make. You know, a long time ago, I had a really good friend who since sadly has passed away. And I'm thinking 25, 30 years ago, he made a kitchen spoon for me. And it was a very nicely made spoon, but what I think is really remarkable is every time I bring out that spoon, it makes me think of Ed. You know, Ed Vincent was an amazing guy. I've got a video on Ed Vincent. If you look up Ed Vincent in my collection, you'll see what he was all about. He was an amazing craftsman. He was also a World War II B-29 pilot. Great stories, but that really stuck with me, and I've really enjoyed making spoons and spatulas and kitchen utensils over the years. And I'd like to think that someday when I'm long gone, you know, somebody's going to pull up my spoon and think about me. So today I'm making spoons and spatulas. I'll show you what I'm doing. You know, spoons and ladles and things like this, they're a lot harder to make than you might think. They take quite a bit of effort to sculpt them and carve them out and get them shaped really nicely. I've got a whole assortment of different shapes that I've done. Some of them are decorated and some of them are different styles. I've made a lot of these spatulas, these scrapers. I make these out of a really hard wood. This one's made out of pear wood. Needs to be sanded, but it's getting close. But these are really great for, you know, cooking eggs or working with stuff to scrape a non-stick pan, because it doesn't tear up the non-stick, and it's easily resharpened. You can take them right up to a good sharp edge. People have really enjoyed these spatulas. There's one that's a little bit different. It's in the process. It's got a long ways to go. Here's a little bit wider spoon. Looks like something I got spanked with when I was a kid. Yeah, let's see. I got a few more of them over here. There's a real tiny spoon that I made. It's like a tasting spoon. This one's also out of pear wood. There's a little bit on there. I'm just going to do a little bit more carving on the ends. None of these are fully done. There's an interesting scraper that I came up with. And let's see, here's another pear wood spoon. This one's kind of nice. I've got my maker's mark and nice and smooth. It takes a lot longer than you might think to make one of these spoons. There's one that I'm working on. Still got a long ways to go. I usually start by carving out the inside, because if you can get that shaped nicely, then the rest of it, it sort of conforms to the shape of the inside of the spoon. It's easy to take a little bit more on the outside, but it's a real pain to do it from the inside. So I always do that first. And if I get that good, then I'll spend a lot of time refining the rest of it. Now, let's see, here's another ladle that I'm working on. This one actually came from the crotch of a tree, and this was the larger portion that went into the wood, and here's where the branch went out. Now, let's see, what else have I got here? So many little things working on This is my engraver's vise, which is really handy for holding some of this stuff. I've also got a nice little Dremel tool. I find this little flap sander is quite efficient at working some of the sanding. Can't really get it deep inside. I still haven't got the sanding on the insides of these ladles and spoons down. I know there's some special tool out there which I don't have. And here's yet another project I'm working on. This is a hard maple countertop that I'm making. It's going to cover a coffee counter that we have in our kitchen that's got a lot of cracked tiles and such. I've just got it all glued together. I use dominoes to line it up. You can see the joints are nice and tight. So I've got a bit of sanding. I had to add this piece on there. I've got a bit more work. What I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to make an exact template for the counter, and I'm going to bring it out. I made this oversized. You can see the edges kind of go around the outside of it a bit. And then I'll lay the template on there. I'll cut it out with a bandsaw and get it so it'll snug in just right, I hope. And I got the clamps off, did a little bit of sanding, got some of the glue off. It's getting close. This is yet another project that I did last year for a friend of mine. It was a piece of walnut that I cut down. I put some nice little butterflies in there. I want you guys to all have a great holiday.